Everybody's getting glory.
Guys, it is my pleasure to introduce Killer Instinct. We're gonna be labbing, and we're gonna be doing it with none other than Geoff the Hero.
Gracious Geoff.
What's up?
Bless up. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Thank you for being here, and
you for
of
your
course, you know the name from every fucking episode of this goddamn show, the Besteban.
The best.
He is in. And listen, folks, here's what you need to do right now. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna need you to open up a new tab, go to YouTube, go to Hold Back to Block, open up Fight On, the Killer Instinct documentary that was just dropped, and pause it because it's gonna start playing, and come back to that as soon as we're done here. This is basically Esteban's child that, after 9 months in the womb, has finally been birthed into the world. And guess what? It fucking captures all the fucking love and hype of Killer Instinct. And if you haven't seen it yet, you need to. So
I stayed up all night in the hospital.
There
I
you
delivered
go.
this child.
Wow.
Epidural and everything.
The Citizen Kane of documentaries, to be honest.
Rosebud.
When the announcement came, and I think like it was around the time that Bring Back KI was going, where like you kind of dropped what you were working on with this, you know? Congratulations.
Yeah, like I wasn't actually going to do, I was going to do a KI thing, like maybe like a year or so down the line or whatever. And then Max, walks into the room with like a 18-wheeler and is like, hey, bring back KI. And I was like, well, gotta go do this now.
It's a healthy 8-pound masterpiece.
Oh my God.
It's fantastic.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. It really is. Honestly, it's one of those things where like it's kind of impossible to not immediately want to play the game after you're finished watching it.
Yeah, that's been a lot of the reception. I like people buying the game midway through the documentary, which is dope.
So yo, Geoff, you are the Ronin Rumble, I guess what's the word, shogunate here?
Yeah,
Right?
I'm a far away from Samurai Showdown, yeah, but this has a lot to do with my roots, actually, as a fighting game player. This game right here.
That's surprising. I had no idea, because I only knew you through Sam Show, and I mean recently, shit's been popping off because you've been branching out into Grand Blue and a lot of other games.
I've been watching that.
Oh, I love it. We love it. Yeah, I know. But actually, recently we did a Killer Instinct tournament. We had Maximilian commentate. We had Nikki commentate. All this crazy stuff over there. It was a really good love letter back to the community,
Nice.
because we've seen the people who have been supporting and in this community for the past 7 years show up yet again in like spades, man. It was like 128 entrants or something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
Free online tour. Woo, baby. Yeah.
And
so I was like,
and here's the thing, right? Like, guess what? Locals shut down and stop existing. What do we have to rely on? We've got the established online tournaments that have been doing it every single weekend.
we got the
better
good ass
place?
rollback too. We have to give credit to that. That rollback
Yes.
and that code really helps out a lot.
Yeah, no, the Evo Online list, like they knew exactly what they were doing. They made a statement with that list, but like you had Ronin Rumble ready and waiting for the online tournament world that we are now living in. So that was
Pretty
perfect.
much, yeah.
That was perfect.
Killer Instinct is super, super deep with me. That was actually my first job in the gaming industry back in 2014. Oh my God, so long ago. But yeah, no, I worked my way up from just a QA tester, QA sub lead there, and I was working on this game for a good 2 years. So
Yo, QA boys. I had no idea that was the background. Like I was just telling you before, like I'm coming from that compliance end, so it's my job to give you the TCR 5.2.1. Your game doesn't have the fucking requirements. Your buttons are all fucked up, and it's gonna fail.
and I'm the one pulling my hair out and wondering why this keeps happening to poor me. But
but yo, I don't know how many times it happened to you, but like, we didn't get we didn't get a ton of fighting games to work on back in the QA days. But like the few that I got, I made it loud and clear that it's like, I'm the guy, put me on the fucking team. There's no one else in the office that's gonna handle this with the passion I am,
Nice.
So I got to touch Super Turbo when Serlin was doing his thing with HD Remix. I got to do a QA on that, and there was a Guilty Gear season that came through the house where there was like X2, there was the the PSP game Judgment, and then there was Dust Strikers.
Yo.
So we had to touch those, you know. But like either, and they're like, they're like, dude, aren't you excited? It's Guilty Gear, and I'm like,
Never think Dust Strikers in years. Wow.
Dust fucking Strikers, dude. Yeah. So you know, like it was, but still, like
nothing like compliance checks to really get that heart pumping, you know. Like, so I totally understand.
The breakdown we're gonna try to go for tonight is we're trying to spend time in the lab. We're trying to learn it. Reggie, you and I took a look at this game back in December.
Right.
We kind of dicked around, stuck toes in the water. I've been mashing buttons with Thunder since season 1. I think December was the first time you touched it.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, for all intents and purposes, like, call it a fresh start.
I'm down.
Call it a fresh start.
It's good.
So what
Long breaks are good also to get better. So you're better already than you were back then. I guarantee you your potential is out there. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Wow. You words, bro. All right.
Let's get it.
So yeah, no. What we're gonna kind of do is again focus a bit more on the lab, and then we're gonna do some lobbies, mess around a bit, hopefully, see what we learn turn into like a practical application lesson by the end of the night, hopefully. So if there is a bit more training room time than you're used to on this episode, I'm just putting out there this is the reason why. So, but hey, we're all gonna learn together. Let's touch some buttons.
I believe that is the best idea to do
Let's
in a fighting
touch
game.
some buttons.
I'm afraid not.
All right.
All right, let me choose this D tier Sadira
Do
that everyone is
shit,
convinced.
bro. Do what you gotta do. You know, people are here. They want to see that you are qualified to be the sensei tonight. So.
Oh, that is not true at all. But like, it's too late to go back at this point. You already got me on.
Okay. Well. Let's see what's going on here.
So you're saying D tier Sadira? What's the deal with that?
A lot of people are convinced that Sadira is the worst character in the game. I just believe that people just didn't put in the work for it. Now, I'm not saying that I did or anything, but if you look at people like Lord Calypso or anything of the sort, if you go back and just like look at how this character moves, it's almost to the point that it just seems unfair. It's like a one-player Marvel game at that point.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so this character has a double jump over here. Thunder's a pseudo grappler, I think. Oh, and there's a... Oh no, I forgot. Well, I'm dead.
Oh no, I'm dead is a common phrase you'll probably hear a lot.
Oh boy. Yeah, I gotta get out of there. I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot my combos. Okay, there we go.
Oh damn. Okay.
Nice, good break.
Yep.
Yo.
Okay. Yeah, right to it. Okay. Oh my. Oh shoot! Which way? Which way?
Nice. I'm always scared of those. Oh, I can't whip punish! Oh my god!
Just out of range.
Oh, I can't cancel 5.
Oh.
Oh my god, you're scared me. I can't combo. Here we go. Okay.
Where were you guys when I need a gameplay capture? What is this?
Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay.
That doesn't work.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Nice block.
Shit.
Oh my god.
No.
Nowhere there.
Still alive. I'm still alive. I won't chance.
Wow.
Nice. Good block on the. Oh. I don't know how to play. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
That's all
okay. Yeah. Of course.
Ultimate?
Of course.
I actually
be
did not
meatier than
install
that.
the ultimate. I forgot to get the entitlements for my ultimate for Sadira. So...
Not even the second round. The
No.
jumps. Yeah, okay, my anti-airs need to be on point fighting this girl. But I can't boot this game up and not touch Thunder. Like I just can't do it. He's too sick. Poopa people. We gotta do it.
Think you got what it takes to beat the champ?
Here we go. First character I've worked on here. I love this one. So he has an armored rush punch right here. So
Oh, armor.
It's really good. And then he has a command grab. And he's got this thing. Nice, good DP. Oh, okay.
I feel like he's a really good character. So.
Just a little bit. Oh no, anti-air, okay.
Like Woolie was saying earlier, like every character in this game looks cool. Every character has something that makes you go like, heck, yo, maybe I'd try it. Maybe I'd try it.
Alright, so funny thing about that thing, when I crouch over your dead body, he does that little back and forth. I actually reported that as a bug, and I told Keats, hey, this doesn't look like it's natural. And he's like, nah, it's intended. So,
As designed.
Oh,
Yep.
you got it.
oh, okay, alright. Oh my god. Oh, alright.
Jesus Christ, dude. All right.
So
yeah.
that power line it has armor on it. It can be canceled in one of 6 different moves. It can be canceled early. It is a ridiculously good option. There's ways to beat it.
Didn't
but
even need to combo with it. Just complete check.
Can't.
Exactly.
Oh my god. All right. All right. Esteban, let's fucking.
How do you play this game again? What is this?
All right.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you just put a movie together. Show me something. You put a movie together. Show me something.
See, there's this game called World Heroes, and there's a character called Dragon. I don't know if you heard about Kim Kaplan, but
Yeah, he's got the How about that? Eh? I never would have put together that the Ryakuranbu style SNK supers and the like was responsible for combos.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I did not know that going in. Like, he dropped that on me in that interview.
Fucking fascinating, and it makes perfect sense too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Stay away from me. I'll be powerful.
Of course.
Oh. I guess not playing for a week.
Oh, he knows.
Wow, big stomps.
Nice break.
Oh, it's hurt.
Ah, I tried to counter you so hard. Hey, Jago's pretty good at that.
Yeah, right. Lightning bolt dash through.
Yes. Oh, where's my shadow?
Here we go.
I'm gonna do a full one on you.
Does he have it? He might have it. He had it. Well,
No, you're gonna learn today, alright?
Oh, yeah. It's been a week.
No, we are.
It's been a
We are.
week, he says.
Yeah, Reggie, you sit tight. You're up next, buddy.
I know. I know. Get your head
You
back
got
into
this.
it, Woolie.
So the weird thing is, I've been playing so much Season 1 to record gameplay footage. So, it's really weird to play Season 3
So
right now.
it's all baked in.
Like, I've never played Season 3 Orchid. So this should be pretty fun.
Okay.
Target spotted.
You'll love that Double Helix put in the Season 1 characters. Detail on them is crazy. Especially Season 2 and 3, but that's double Iron Galaxy.
Hey.
Fuck me.
Head!
So, Jeff, would you say that, like, because of the universal mechanics, is it easy to pick up a character in this game?
You know what? Yes and no. There are some characters that play outside of the typical, like, I just want to, like, get some of the lockout and I want them to do X amount of damage. Like, characters like General Ram are a little bit tougher, but I'd say that you can pick up any character that you want, and then you'll have something that can put the game into your favor, you know, like something oppressively offensive.
That's good.
There's answers to everything in this game, but for the most part, what I'm talking about here is that you could just pick it up and play any character you want, which is very unique for a fighting game, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Ah, he'll do it. He'll do it.
You throw a grenade.
What's lightning charge again?
3 punches.
3 punches.
There you go.
Yes, there we go.
And for grenade, it's back and heavy punch.
Oh!
Thunder. Let's go, Chief.
Nice.
Watch your head.
Dude, that overhead is ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
Remember, you have instinct too.
I realized.
Oh,
I forgot.
yeah!
I forgot her ultra grenade.
Oh no.
All right.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right. Reggie, there you go.
Get in there. 3 times.
Everything's one step closer to flushing out Ultra Check.
That's right. We stay flushing out ultra tech.
Beat up a dinosaur, one step closer.
She kills her brother, 1 step closer.
Fuck up a ghost, desecrate its grave, one step closer.
She kills herself over there. Mirror match, 1 step closer. I don't know how this is gonna go. It has been literally like half a decade since I've last played this dude. I am so screwed right now.
Boy.
That was the worst choice I could have made.
Honestly, I just love Aganos because of what he represents in fighting games. Something completely different. Something immensely
No,
interesting.
don't do that.
I'm real curious.
Let me have these. Come on, man.
So that's all armor that he's adding to himself, by the way, Randy. So you don't want that.
Oh god. All right,
Yes,
all right,
we
I'm
live in-
out. I'm out. Oh no, Daniels.
That were his.
Yeah, and I think Kusia Pick is the lunge opener.
Oh, God.
Okay, all right. I can live.
Chunk.
God.
Yeah. So you get chunks out of that, which is nice.
Yo, Jeff, can I request you build the wall?
There you
Thank
go,
you.
man. Hey,
Thank
got
you.
you.
This is not Mexico. What
No, it ain't. Oh, there you go.
Build
Come on.
I'm sorry. He asked for it. Oh no. Okay, nice.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. No.
I just want this wall so bad.
I better see a Fulgore come flying out his window.
Right? Oh, he's doing it.
He's doing it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Through each
that is
wall.
fair.
Yeah.
That is what I want to see. How can I learn if I don't see this?
So when the shadow moves are happening, like you can time any strength on each of the 5 hits.
Yeah, it's
together.
true.
Yeah,
I
so-
remember that.
Right. That exactly. But he can counter break it if he's feeling frisky.
Yeah, you'll have to get 3 out of usually 5.
If you have a reference point that is all of your knowledge of fighting games that you get to put into any video game and you get the Ryu type, by all means. By all means. It's a good fallback.
Man, I wish Ryu was half as good as Jago is. Jago's a monster.
I'll take a third.
Well, I remember one of the things I was explaining was just like the idea that's like, okay, so Shotos have fireballs and uppercuts, and usually those are defining and strong. But in a game like KI, you have to do combos. You have to get in. So, like, the Tatsu, aka the wind kick, becomes the most important tool. You know? Like, it's an interesting thing where, like, in any other fighting game, you can just rely on the typical Shoto tools, but this forces it to be different.
Yeah, KI has a lot of really good forward momentum special moves, like Ulysses' ice tackle, things like that, you know?
Would it be out of place to say that, like, if Ryu as is existed in KI, that Tatsu would be his most important move?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
No, wind kick is a incredibly good move. Over time, they kind of nerfed a little bit of it, but I still believe that it's one of the strongest moves. So when the game first released, you could do a shadow wind kick and it actually hit full
Dear
screen
God,
away.
Reggie! Dear God! Dear
that a
God!
perfect?
That was a perfect.
Oh God! perfect means a lot more in this game, by the way.
I know.
It happens to the best of us.
Hey, is your control
And the worst
Reggie?
too.
Was that like a warm-up round or something? Do you, like, we gotta go back? Or...
Supreme victory.
Oh, did I say perfect or anything? Well,
I'm staying quiet on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Reggie. I'll take the stick here. Thank you.
good.
Oh boy.
Mick Gordon doing both season 1 and season 2, and during season 2 he actually outsourced a little bit of the music. He did like collaborations,
wow.
more like. And the one who does the vocals for Shadow Jago song, the one you're hearing right now, is actually one of the best TJ combo players in the world.
It's Thresh Heavy, right?
Thresh Heavy, yeah, that's right.
So I believe the guitars on second
Cinder Stage, right?
Cinder Stage was done by Little V Mills. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
So that's rad.
They actually have Iron Galaxy employee voices in what was it, Aghanos's stage. So like,
he went for it.
All the vocals, all the So I mean, this game has so much community love in it. It's actually insane. Yo, let's go. Oh, I need to stop it.
Jago's healing is too strong. I love people who play it. Oh, I forgot.
No.
I'll start with one.
Nice.
Oh. Oh,
No.
we're supposed to do it a little bit later.
Shit.
There we go.
Fuck.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, you have a chance, you have a chance. Oh no!
Oh.
Wow.
Gave you a nice little heavy to chew on there.
Oh, not the counter breaker, bro. Damn. All right. Out of here. Disband this lobby. Get the fuck out. Go home. We're done. Oh, Jesus. And that, yeah. So, counter breakers, right?
Yeah,
you remember those.
Okay.
I remember those.
Hey, that was a good stream.
Thanks for coming out. I have 2 characters I'd like to learn. Reggie has 2 characters he'd like to learn. But the suggestion is that we start with the basics.
Which is what I need right now.
An open understanding of what's going on in this game. So we're going to take a quick Jago run just to work through what's happening in this video game. And then we'll get into the cool shit that I can't wait to find out a little bit more about.
I'm gonna watch my perfect on Reggie again. Give me a second.
What are you looking at the ceiling for, bro? What's up there? Ain't no frame data on the ceiling, Reggie.
Yeah, it just says block on the ceiling, Reggie. You should probably read that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. You know, Esteban, I
can't hear you over the sounds of me hitting you right now. 1 second.
He's actually watching the replay.
Yeah,
He's
I'm in the
actually-
archive.
I'm staying out of this.
You know, the funny thing about these, the noise filter on my mic right now is that you can't hear when I press the stick harder. You can't hear the desperate fucking slamming of the button. All right, we're in there. Take it away,
All
Geoff.
right. Nice. Okay, cool. So Jago, hey, you know, if you've ever played a Street Fighter game before, ever see a little known character named Ryu, you pretty much have the basics down already for Jago. So, you know, you got your DPs, you got your Tatsu, which is the wind kick. Now keep in mind that wind kick, if it connects and if it actually hits, you go straight into a combo right off of that, unlike Tatsu in Street Fighter where it's a knockdown. Really, really good stuff right there. And as you saw right there, that is a pretty quick combo we can do. He has a fireball that he can actually charge by holding the button down. And when it gets to be that big size, it actually eats through every other fireball. One thing you can do is that you can actually cancel out of that fireball if you so wish. So while you're charging it, just do a forward dash. There you go. So you think they see that coming and you jump, then you could just DP them.
Okay.
You can also go back.
Yeah, like that. Oh yeah, you can also backdash as well.
Right, okay.
And one thing I did forget to mention is the laser sword. You guys were doing a little bit of it. That's just quarter roll back punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually +1. I think the medium is +1 on block, and the heavy is +2. And the only reason why you wouldn't want to do the heavy so often is because like anything that's 2 hits in this game can be done something known as shadow countering, which basically if you are in the middle of block stun and you hit the 2 medium buttons, just like that, if you activate by hitting them one more time, it automatically makes a shadow move come out.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to be very careful about 2-hit combo or strings, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the value of single hit moves is great because you don't have to, because it's not telegraphed on that.
Exactly, yeah. So you have to watch out. A lot of people like doing just like a normal. Most normals cancel into special moves. But you also have to watch out too, because if you do a normal into a special move, you can also shadow counter that. And you have to be very, very quick about that sort of thing though. For anyone who's new to the game and you're like, well, this is really hard to do or whatever, it's really good to train yourself to just do shadow counter at any point, even if you don't have meter doing it. And the reason being is that if you press in the middle block stun, nothing happens. So you're training yourself, even in real life scenarios, and then you get to be like really good at that sort of thing.
Projectile.
So you're vulnerable after a missed shadow counter, so you can just miss. So you have to be very specific with your timing.
Yeah, you can. If you're just whipping like that, you're recovering at that point.
Charge it to
mess up the timing.
Exactly, yeah. So you got that.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about combos with this guy. So some real interesting stuff. You can just start off like with a wind kick, and then if you do an auto double heavy immediately, or any auto double really, so you'll have to actually hit him for it.
Any strength?
Yeah. So you can actually do something called Around the World with Jago. So instead of having to like do the combo flow, which is just usually like a linker into auto double into linker into manual, whatever you want, you can actually do auto double into auto double in one
direction. Auto double?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's take a real big step back. Let's talk about how the system works first.
My fault. I thought we were already. My bad. I'm on a different level right now. Excuse me. All right. So the combos, actually, this is a really good thing. You have a whole documentary, you have a whole sandwich segment.
See, the combos in K are like sandwiches.
The sandwich analogy. Hell yeah, absolutely. It's the best.
That's all you.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the documentary yet, this is like kind of like because KI gets really complicated really fast, and combos are like the main thing in Killer Instinct. So luckily, Sajam has this great analogy about the sandwich.
Shout out to Sajam.
With combos and Killer Instinct. So you got to think about combos like sandwiches. So like in order to start combos, you have 2 slices of bread, right? And you can use whatever kind of bread you like, because of varying degrees. But those slices of bread are your opener and your ender. So something like your laser sword is an opener. Like that's an opener. Once you start that, you're in the combo system. And then you can hit any of the buttons that you have. So any of the light, medium, or heavies do automatic 2 hits. Those are auto. And they range from light, medium to heavy. Depending on if you hit punches or kicks, you'll get a different animation. But you want to recognize what strength they are. The strength is the most important part. Yeah. We'll talk about later. So you have and that's like that's the meat of your combo, right? That's real meaty. That's where your damage comes from. So you can do like shadow. You can do laser sword, an auto double, and your uppercut. That's an opener, auto double, ender. That's a complete combo in KI. But we can get fancy with it, right? We can throw some vegetables on there. We can throw a little bit of mayonnaise. So why don't we extend the combo a little bit? So you can do something like laser sword, auto double, maybe throw a wind kick in there, maybe do another auto double, then end it. we get to finish the combo. Yeah, there we go. And there you get nice little animation, nice little stuff. The risk is, as you make this combo longer, remember how I said the strengths are really important, KI? Well, your opponent doesn't have to sit there and take that. Your opponent's not just waiting and then kind of like falling asleep, you're doing the style combo. If your opponent can guess what you're doing like that, so if you went for a heavy auto double, and I broke it by hitting the 2 heavy button. Try that one more time. Yeah. So there's a mind game going on between the 2 players. They're looking at what you're doing, they're seeing what your character is doing, and they're trying to stop you. Now we can go backwards with that because just because they can break doesn't mean you don't have anything to do. So what happens if, you know, we start a combo with heavies, the opponent goes to the break, and then the attacker hits the 2 middle buttons. Go for heavies.
Yeah, sure.
Defender will try to break, and then you're gonna hit the middle attack buttons. There you go. So as the attacker, you know, so the thing about the combo systems, like heavies are like pretty big, right? They're meaty animations, they're long animations, they're really easy to see. But the mind game is, if I'm throwing this at you and you go to break, they're really easy to break. As you saw with I did that to Woolie in that last match, I baited him and I got my counter break. Now you see that F comes up every time, you know, somebody gets like locked out, we'll say, like they get locked out. I'm trying, as the attacker, get you to bite on something, whether it's an incorrect break or a counter break, because when that's up, you can't do anything for a couple seconds, which allows me to get my damage, essentially. Not to get too deep, but, you know, we did one combo, right? So, do like an opener, and a double.
Well, so I remember like each time, like we've looked at this game a couple times over the years, and each time there's been a very clear moment of like, I don't understand the combo system.
Right.
And, like we've walked through it, but it still escapes people, right? So to kind of just illustrate it very clearly, I'm gonna do the same thing a couple times, and you'll just basically what you're gonna see here is I'll do this into hard punch, and that animation is the reason why Reggie knows how to press hard punch to break out of this combo. So as soon as you see Jago doing that slower, bigger hit as opposed to those 2 quick ones, you recognize the speed of that he's attacking at, and you know that, okay, I'm gonna break it with either the light buttons to break his light attacks or the heavier buttons to break his heavy attacks. The cost for fucking that up, of course, is Reggie. So like break light, for example, is excuse me, go ahead. That lockout thing happens and allows me to continue doing more and more damage that he can no longer escape.
So another thing that we should actually mention, because why that's important, is you see that when you do a combo, you see this little thing pop up on the side of the screen. It's like a little meter. See that? As the attacker, you can't just keep doing this combo forever. You're trying to end this combo right before that blinking red light, because they'll blow out like that. And if you look at the 2 players' life, they're gaining life back. In order to get that damage, in order to get the majority of a combo damage, you have to end your combo with an ender. Like this. And that's when that potential damage falls off.
So enders are usually just a special with your heavy buttons, right?
Yeah.
That's all. And
there are a big assortment of enders, like ones that specifically charge your meter, ones that do a lot more damage, one that give you advantage. We won't get too into that. Like Geoff will probably take that over when we talk about Jago a little bit more.
Yeah, just want to interject over here. If you're interested in that sort of thing, if you're trying to get to the meat and bones about your character, just press start and go to character. I mean, God, what's it? Move list, command list. There we go. Right. I spent way too much time working at Iron Galaxy, making sure that these actually are working just the way they, like as much information we jam-packed in there. We only had like 1 page essentially every single time. So please make former Geoff like not be in vain here. Check that out. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, there's this in-game. There's also ki.infill.net, which is like the best strategy guide ever made. That you can just go on. You can actually practice combo breaking on the guide online. So if even if you don't have the game and you want to kind of practice how to break against a specific character, you can do that.
Yeah, and I think as well too, like some of the there's confusion over like things like the word auto double, for example.
Yes.
It literally just means it's 2 normal attacks.
It's an automatic 2 hits.
Yeah. You hit 1, you get to press 2.
So I'm gonna do, sword, and then I tapped punch once, and 2 punches came out. That's all that means, right? So you know, and then I guess like with that, you can, at any point, then you can go into your ender. The earlier you go into your ender, the safer you're being, but like you're cashing out your damage sooner versus otherwise not cashing out your damage by dropping the combo or having a combo broken.
And there's a big rule. It's a rule that I didn't actually talk about in the documentary, but it's one that you need to know. You always have to give your opponent a chance to break. You cannot go opener directly into ender. So like if you were to do Jago's back throw into shadow uppercut, this is opener ender, right? Reggie, just break anything as soon as possible after the throw. That will not work. Your opponent can always break that, and you won't get anything for it. Yes.
That's just 2 pieces of bread with nothing in the middle. That's not even a sandwich. That's disrespectful and awful.
I should be able to break with light too?
I think it's only heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you can always break this.
Yeah. And you can't counter break that either.
Oh, okay. So
if you go opener ender, you will eat a heavy. Or, I mean, a heavy breaker.
Yeah,
if your opponent's aware of it.
The reason why I stress learning the terms like auto double and linker and opener ender is because this combo system is very fluid. So like we've been doing combos that have just been like opener auto double. But what if you did something like laser sword wind kick? Don't do the heavy wind kick. There you go. So that is opener linker, and then from there you can go to an auto double. And that's not even counting the other stuff that you can do, like throwing in things like manuals and shadow moves, stuff like that. So you can get really creative. That's what like my favorite parts about this game is like, if you want a style or you want to get creative or you really want to play a lot of strategy, this game allows you to do it. It's like very similar to like Vampire Saber. I remember when I was on showing you guys Vampire Saber, I was like, the reason why I like this game is that you can take one character and play it in like 5 different ways or 6 different ways. You can do the same thing here in Killer Instinct.
So and in terms of like converting what you're seeing on screen into buttons, you're pretty much like doing these things, but more or less consists of doing a special move like a quarter circle back kick, and then tapping a button, doing a special, tapping a button, doing a special, and then ending it with another special, So the combos will look like more complicated than the actual button inputs are.
Yeah, and actually kind of going off of that, because I see people talking about like auto combos and stuff. So there is a really cool thing called Combo Assistant here. Where if you're kind of feeling a little daunted about like all the motions and all that kind of stuff, it's an optional feature that you can include that will let you do like forward and medium to continue your combo, forward and heavy to continue your combo. It's really cool, and you can really fine tune it to like include some options that you may want, some options that you might not want. I'm actually, I have like 30 minutes of James Goddard talking about this feature that I'm actually gonna put at some point.
Oh wow, okay.
It's super cool, and we got to play it's not recorded unfortunately, but we got to actually play a match where he played with Combo Assist on and I did it. It was like really cool because we were just able to do the same thing, and it wasn't overpowered or anything like that. It was just like, if you feel a little daunted about the controls and stuff like that, like you can kind of ease your way into that. And the dojo actually is compatible with it, so you don't have to. You can go through the tutorial with Combo Assist on, and it'll keep up with you.
Well, let's talk about Great Light first, because that was already touched up on. So if you keep doing damage to your opponent in a combo, now notice that it only starts when you're in the middle of a combo, but you don't use an ender, that's called potential damage, that flashing white over there. And the longer your opponent goes untouched, that potential damage comes back. So basically what you want to do whenever you see that is you want to have an ender. Now, keep in mind that that meter actually doesn't go back down until later on, so you can mix someone up and make that potential damage even greater. Now, why would you do that? Why don't you just cash out every single time you get that opportunity? Well, there's a number of things. One, the first hit that you do in the beginning of a combo, even after a reset, does 200% damage instead of 100%. That's pretty big. So you can keep resetting people over and over again. And number two, when you're doing a combo, instead of taking a look at that big bar that you see right underneath the combo meter, can you start a combo? You see those 4 little bars down there? That's your combo level. Whenever you end a combo and it's a higher level, you do more damage that way. Like you get a slightly different ender. You see 40% damage based off of that.
Versus if I were to do it ended earlier.
Exactly. Try that. Yeah. So that was only a level 3. That's still pretty big.
Same uppercut. Just you didn't get the giant animation and the big damage finisher because it was level
exactly. Right. So you have to balance all these different things here, like, and you have to understand not only the game, but you have to understand your opponent. Does my opponent suck at breaking? Is my opponent new? Does he keep mashing light first frame? That sort of thing. You have to take all these things into account to see how they play and find a counter plan against that. So maybe you want to do really short combos if they're really good at breaking. Or maybe you want to do really large combos because they keep breaking frame 1 and they keep guessing wrong. Or maybe you need a counter break because you know that they're always going to break light, medium, or heavy as soon as they get the opportunity. You got to keep all these things in mind. So it's a little bit daunting at first, but once it clicks, you feel like a genius when you play. Hey, instinct meter. So every time that you take a little bit of damage or you combo break, your instinct meter actually goes up. Combo break does a little chunk of it, but as long as you use your instinct meter when you get it, you'll have at least 2 instinct meters, usually every single round. And the instinct meter you can see is triggered by heavy punch and heavy kick. And you can do that at any point. So think about V trigger, except like on crack, right? From Street Fighter V, I mean V trigger. So you stop the action entirely whenever you do that. And there's no recovery frames. You could do it frame 0 on wake up. And you can see what your opponent is doing. So it's a really good way to pause the action, being like, well, he's jumping in the air. I could DP him. Or he's doing a fireball right now. I'm going to use a projectile invincible fireball. Now, what does the actual instinct do, though? That's a big thing.
Character specific, right?
Yeah, exactly. Character specific. For Jago, as you see over here, what he can do is he gets double fireballs by throwing fireballs like that. And not only that, you can't really see it right now, but you also get life back every single fireball that actually hits. So actually, if player 2 wants to do, yeah, there you go. Now throw some fireballs. Look. And keep in mind, that's not even limited to normal fireballs. That's like within combos. EX fireballs as well. Or shadow fireballs.
A lot of life.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can pop instinct and you can get like 40% life back, which is ridiculously good. So you get 2 bars of shadow meter. Some characters have different shadow meter. For example, Omen gets 3 bars. And Fulgore doesn't have shadow meter. He has a reactor. But we'll get into that later. So for the most part, most people only have 2 bars of shadow meter, and that allows them to do those little freeze frame moves just like that. So shadow wind kick gets the property of going through fireballs. It's also lower body invincible. Actually, that's normal wind kick too. But you can go through fireballs with shadow wind kick. And also you get the big fireball by doing the EX. Yeah, there you go. EXDP by itself is okay. It's got a lot of invincibility frames, but you know, in reality, you kind of just want to keep the just use a normal DP, right? Because also keep in mind that DPs also cancel into whatever special moves as well.
So his shadow DP is not really worth it?
Well, it's worth it in a different end. So remember when we were talking about that meter, like the bigger combo you do, the more damage you do?
Yep.
Instead of doing a level 4 heavy DP, end up doing a level 4 shadow DP and see the difference in the damage there. It hurts. It hurts a lot. That's a what we call a level 5 ender. That is the secret level 5 ender right there.
Okay, so if we did it with the numbers on. Let's see. So I'll do the exact same combo and then just have that be the only difference.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so
44.
Very nice.
60,
yeah, so
an extra 20%. An extra 20%. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So a lot of people should, you know, consider doing that. If you have the meter, you might as well, right? You also have what's the last one that I missed? Oh, EX laser sword. So this is best used as an opener. So all that damage right there is unbreakable because that's considered the opener right there.
Right.
That's the what was the Sajam called that the sour bread or something. That's,
sourdough.
Sourdough.
Nice sourdough.
The worst Reddit in the world, but you know,
It's
everyone's got their
awful.
different tastes.
It's
You know,
terrible.
some people don't like. Some
For the
people
analogy
don't
purposes,
like.
I get it, right? Because you know, and it's more robust than Wonder Bread, but it's fucking garbage. Let's be
All right,
real.
whole grain, whatever, whole grain.
That's have no taste.
I knew I joined the right stream here. All right, that's good. So like that's it, you can also use these shadow moves in the middle of combos as well. Now keep in mind that this one is pretty easy to break because there's a rhythm there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that, right? Now if you use the EX wind kick, it's actually a lot quicker. You can see that, yeah. If you actually do it in the middle of a combo, the wind kick comes out quicker. Yeah, you see that?
Okay. Yeah.
So the reason why you would want to use the EX one in the middle of a combo is either you're trying to bait out like a combo counter breaker, or maybe your opponent is really bad at timing, that sort of thing, because it's easier for you to break the EX wind kick. Just because like it's 1, 2, 3, like super quick right there, right? Or because it does more damage, if your opponent locked out of his combo because he guessed wrong earlier, that actually does more damage, and you're going to be able to use all that in order to like build up your combo meter.
If you do a shadow move as an opener, like do any kind of shadow move as an opener, right? Your opponent can't break this, like was said before. But if you do it as a linker, you hear that one? That's, I believe it's Reggie's 2-player, right?
Yeah.
So that's Reggie trying to break. And with shadow moves, they hit 5 times for the most part. And as a defender, if you time it right and get that 3 times, so if you time your break 3 times, every time the shadow move hits, you can break. But you heard that announcer, right? It's counted 1, 2, 3. So just show them one more time.
God dang it.
It's all right. So that's telling both players that, hey, I'm trying to break. So the mind game becomes, if at any point as the attacker, if I hear that, I can go.
You had it, but I failed. He had it.
So some people will only do 2. Some people will do like the first 2 hits and then maybe wait for the last one. It's any 3 hits. And that's another mind game that you can get involved as attacker and defender.
Just do the first 3, Reggie.
Okay.
I forgot to mention one important thing about shadow linkers is that it doesn't add to your knockout meter. The number that's on the side that blows out the combo.
There.
Right. Yeah. So that's exactly it. So the 1, 2, 3 is like out of 5. You choose where.
1, 2, 4.
Yeah. So that means that like there's basically a 40% chance of me trying to counter break you on the wrong one of those 5 attacks. You know, because you're gonna be pressing it on 3 of them, and anywhere they are. If we wait to the end and it's the last 2. I assume you're gonna go for one of those 2 to get out of it, in which case it guarantees it.
But the risk is, so it doesn't. So the risk is when you bluff like that, you drop your combo and you're vulnerable. You can be attacked back. That's a long recovery animation. So that's the risk you have as the attacker. So like, if I think that you're gonna break, I'm gonna do that bluff. But if I'm wrong, well, I just gave up all my advantage and I'm vulnerable to being hit.
Super important question here from Franklin Stein, and this was something that I remember struggling with from day one. Was like, the first thing was, how do you recognize the strength of the attack you're getting hit by to know what to break?
I got 3 different answers for that.
Yeah.
All right. So 1, practice on it. So practicing really helps. And if you see a move that's being used with you over and over again, you guess wrong, that UI tells you which one it actually was, right? So light, medium, heavy. So go ahead and guess wrong just so people can see it one more time. See that? H means heavy right there. So that means that you should have broke heavy, and then you start recognizing that it's like, oh, hey, that's actually the heavy. Number 2, you can actually, they have a mode just for it. It's called Combo Breaker Training, and it's free in this game. You can check it out. You can also go to Infill's website for that, but if you want to check it out in the game, go ahead and like you could set up any combo in any point you want and just keep grinding that over and over again until you find it. Now, something that the professionals use actually are sound cues to tell like what the heavy hit sounds like versus and what the sound what the different strengths are. So there's also visual cues as well. For example, if Jago's getting hit by heavy, notice his feet when he's getting hit by heavy.
Yeah.
His feet are recoiling really far back that way. But if you use like auto double light afterwards, yeah, you can see his feet barely move right there. So like there's different animations depending on what.
So
sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like for me, sound cues I'm not good enough to pick up. A lot of things. The only thing that I'm able to rely on, especially when I'm like not familiar with the character I'm fighting, is I just look at how far back I'm reeling from their attack. So if my head gets knocked back really far, and it's a heavy, and if it gets knocked back very quickly, then it's a light, and anything in between is a medium. That's sort of how I take my guesses.
While that's going on, let me answer this. What is a manual? A manual is you know how in Street Fighter you have like linked combos, like you do like close medium and the standing heavy, right? That sort of thing. In this game, that close medium and the standing heavy is your manual. Now the manuals can come off of anything during the middle of a combo. Like for example, if I do a jump in and I do like a heavy attack immediately afterwards, if it's not the auto double combo, if you actually time it, that's a manual right there. Okay. Manuals can be possible off of almost anything. It depends on what your character is. But one thing, so we were talking about linkers before. Can you do like an auto double heavy linker? Not everyone at once now. Auto double heavy linker. So just do oh, okay. I'm sorry. Linker heavy. My fault. Excuse me. So what you want to do for that is like quarter roll back light and then quarter roll back light, but hold the light down.
Oh yeah. So remember when we said that enders usually come from your heavy like special attacks, right? But you can get a heavy linker by holding down the attack button when you do a special.
Right.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's where you get your free hitting moves.
Oh, so.
Yeah, see you.
There you go. Yeah. So that heavy over there, going back to what manuals are, you can either fit a light, medium, or a heavy manual after that. So that's just basically hitting the button in time afterwards. Do you want to try doing that? It's a little bit tough, but.
So going from. Heavy...
So the linker heavy into a manual.
A manual what?
Just manual light. Let's just do a light first.
You can think of manuals like if you play Street Fighter 4, like one frame links. That's probably its closest cousin. Okay. Like a really, really tight window where you can hit a button to get a single hit instead of going in.
Okay.
Exactly.
You use manuals in the combo system because, you know, if your opponent's used to seeing 2 hits and breaking on 2 hits, right? If you throw a manual in there, you throw the timing off because your opponent has to break when the hit's coming in, when you hit. So if I throw a manual through your timing off, you're going to lock out, and then I'm going to start hitting you with big bang.
So just wait a little bit longer. If an auto double comes out, you hit it too early. There you go. That's it. That's a...
Okay.
And you would be able to go into a linker from that as well.
Manual.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely where it gets to the weeds a little bit. Though,
right.
But,
so actually to go back, so kind of to help Franklin Stein a little bit. So we're talking about linkers and different strengths of linkers, right? So like usually the rule of thumb is like the light linker is 1 hit. Medium linker is 2 hits. Heavy linker is 3 hits, which means that when we're talking about how the heavy moves are easier to see, if Jago does a linker, right, and it's a wind kick, and he gets you 1, 2, and then he's looking like he's gonna do another one, that's an automatic heavy break because that's the only thing he can hit you with. So you break on heavies. And that's where the mind game gets really kind of, that's how you can kind of see. It's like the number of hits they're doing and how fast they're doing it. Like that.
So if you want to do a super easy manual, just to show it off to the stream, do a jump in heavy and then just press heavy when you land, but
a little bit too early.
A little bit too early. Yep. There you go, just like that. Yeah, that's a manual.
So that's another thing. Your jump ins, some jump ins are openers too, so they can start combo.
Now you're definitely going to be having quite a time, I imagine, like just getting used to the rock paper scissors of the usual in and outs of the system. Manuals come in when people start getting wise to your game and you need to break it up, right?
Yeah.
It's just that extra layer.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of like expert type things right there. You know,
Yeah.
if you're trying to learn the game, don't stress yourself out.
Yeah, manuals come into play when you're playing rock, paper, scissors, and you decide to throw a rock. Like, not like the rock as in your hand rock, like an actual rock.
Throw
like,
a rock at them.
rock the game.
Yeah, okay. All this to kind of say, though, that, like, I feel like breaking all this down just for that initial viewer that I see on every time we pick the game up that's like, I don't get what the fuck's going on. I hope that kind of helped. If it got a little confusing at the end, don't worry about it. The stuff we talked about in the beginning should be enough to kind of introduce the rock, paper, scissors. And the rock, paper, scissors of this game, like, is more than enough for you to have fun with it and just start playing. You know, you don't have to get caught up in the weeds of the other stuff that much.
And if you ever need help, like I said, there's a good training inside the game. There's ki.infil.net. Also, if you go to the Fight On documentary, there's a section that says combat and combos. You can see the sandwich analogy there. And those tools will help you out.
I want to start playing Maya because she's too cool. She's just too stylish. Every time I see combos with her, it looks like magic, you know?
She was also a nightmare in season 2.
Yeah, I remember.
Like a freight train.
And like again, like just to depart from the comfort of Thunder and TJ a little bit, I want to mix it up. So I'm hoping Jeff can kind of give a couple of tips
Jeff
on
will
it.
definitely have to take the reins on this one because I know nothing other than please don't get hit by Maya.
And
Yeah. So, go ahead.
oh no, and Reggie, your pick.
Fulgore seems pretty cool. When I was playing him in the original one on SNES, I had a lot of good memories with it. So, and he's a bit of a Shoto, and he has a teleport, which seems pretty cool. I want to get into it.
So
All picks. All right, so let's talk about Maya first. So Maya's got quite a bit to learn. Not as much as Fulgore, but you can see that above her shadow meter, you see that little weird indicator over there. Not exactly sure.
yeah,
It kind of
it's her-
shows you. Yeah, so she has 2 different blades, as you can see, in her hand. And what's unique about her is that she can throw her blade, and then she loses that blade if it's tossed away in a weird way or something like that. So if Fulgore were to jump, that blade would actually end up on the other side. So you have to roll over it in order to pick it back up. So that could be a little bit problematic, but the good thing is if you block it, that little, there you go. Yeah, you see that pip that just appeared right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that basically gives her a bigger power-up for the next time that she uses her blade if she does a quarter roll forward heavy. So go ahead and do that right now.
Whoa.
So that was an unblockable.
and that wasn't even entirely full.
Yeah. So what the requirements of that unblockable were that you need to throw the medium one, the purple dagger, and have it blocked twice. What the light one does, and she'll automatically pick it up if it bounces, recoils off of them. And every time you use the heavy, you expire everything.
All of them, right? Okay.
Right. So what happens with the purple one is that it becomes unblockable, and what happens with the yellow one is it becomes tracking. So you can have a tracking unblockable projectile. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and jump those.
Okay.
So you have that. You can actually throw those from the air too. There you go. Right. It's a really good angle. If you know a little character called Street Fighter 2 Akuma.
Yep.
Think of it like that, except you don't get to throw it for, ever.
Yeah.
And you can also, when you're dashing forward like that, you can also press light or medium, and you just toss the dagger that way. Yeah, just like that.
And they bounce back way further that way.
Yep. Now keep in mind that you have to keep both of your daggers on you to have your full potential.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that her instinct helps out with. Her instinct actually makes it so that even if you drop your daggers, they just automatically go back to your hand as long as instinct is active. So yeah, go ahead and toss it. Oh yeah, you got it back already. Yeah, but
Right. Okay.
Now, you want to see some funny shit? Go ahead and do a DP, which is a quarter roll back kick. All right. So
Beautiful
punish
DP.
down,
The birds.
right? Yeah. Now press a light or medium punch while you're in the air.
Oh damn.
Right.
Yeah. So you can also do that on block, I believe. I think it allows you to do that on block.
On whiff. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. On whip. Okay. Sorry. That was a season 2 thing. They got rid of that. So.
Okay.
All right.
Lots of ways to force him to block my daggers, essentially.
Yeah.
That's my goal is to get him to block my daggers 4 times. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, exactly. And also, one thing you can do is do a quarter roll forward 2 punches, and block it as Fulgore. Well, you'll have to pick those up. 52 card pickup here. There you go. All right, so just go ahead and block that. So that's considered blocking those daggers. So you get an automatic 4 bips right there.
Okay.
And keep in mind, you can move while that's happening.
Right. Okay, so if I'm all spent, I can use 1 bar to do this.
Yes. And you can move back and forth.
Right.
And he is stuck in there, but you also can mix him up. So she has a amazing crouching medium kick, that's a low, obviously. And she also has forward heavy kick, which is an overhead. Now, if you hold the forward heavy kick, you can fake it out.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you could go for a low after that. There you go.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
So
go
so something that's obviously going to happen a whole lot is I'm going to be unarmed at some points. When she is unarmed, what are you doing with her?
Well, she's the most mobile character in the world. So like, go ahead and put your daggers down. Just toss them at them. There you go. So don't roll over it, but yeah. So dash forward and jump. There you go.
Right.
Now he can screen lock you out of your daggers, of course, and that's going to be trouble. That means you have to approach him and fight him with no daggers, and that's she's not a very good character without her daggers. So, but you have a DP, so
yeah.
Go ahead and when you're jumping in the air, press down and heavy.
Yes. The pounce.
Oh damn.
The pounce. That shit is rad.
Yeah, that also cashes out if it's in the middle of the combo. So just a heads up, that's really good.
In the middle of a combo.
Yeah. So
in the air.
Yeah. The combo's a little bit rough to do, but if you do a quarter roll back, kick, and then you throw one of your daggers in the air, you can jump in the air, assuming that you pick it back up. Go ahead and use instinct actually, so that you automatically pick it back up.
Okay.
There you go. And then you jump in the air and you press down and heavy.
Wow, okay. 1, 2, boom, and then grab.
Oh, that's a pro. Well, that did not cash out because I'm dumb, but I'm sure if you put a manual in there, then it'll cash out. There we go. Hey, we did it.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
All right, so there you go.
And yeah, you can super jump right into that. So that is, you have to block that high? Right?
No, you have to duck it.
You have to crouch.
It's unblockable. Yeah, it's technically a command grab, I think, or something.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. You can crouch that.
It's
Just
like
keep in mind, crouching is a bad idea against normal jump-ins. So keep that in mind.
Right. It's like Kanji actually has a move like that in Persona.
She's such a good character. It's okay.
Oh, cool. And you go also anti-air, but also keep in mind that it changes her jump trajectory too. So like a normal jump-in might screw him up.
Oh, you can't do a jumping back.
She used to be able to.
That would be unfair. That would be really busted. Okay.
In season 2, I believe she could.
Right.
You can still throw a fireball in the air, so back jumping back. Yeah, which is pretty good. Beautiful. All right, so what you're looking at right there
All right.
is a season 3 change. So before it used to just cash out with like ridiculous damage. Now it just does little lightning bolt things, and the more pips you have, the longer that damage or those daggers will keep hitting.
Right.
Right now you have it all right there. Good stuff. Okay, now go ahead and do a combo that ends in quarter roll forward heavy punch. So opener, something, and all right, now you can mix them up for the rest of their life, pretty much.
Wow.
Welcome to
What the fuck?
I gotta say this is
Wow! That's fantastic. That's super sick.
All right,
Okay.
and that's mine in a nutshell, really.
In a nutshell. Okay, so
In a nutshell.
in neutral, normals again, key normals, crouching medium kick, forward heavy kick,
Yep.
and aerials.
Pretty good.
What would her best aerial be? Would you say?
Jumping heavy has the cross up of a. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
If you want to see a grand blue anti-air, press crouching heavy punch.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's Cat.
Okay, it's not a Dragon Ball 2P, but
Right.
yeah. All right.
It's got a pretty good hitbox, honestly. You just have to hit it a little bit earlier. And also do back heavy punch. And that's like plus something on block. It's really good.
Oh.
The only problem is that that's shadow counterable.
Oh wow.
Because-
Yeah. Okay. And I cannot do anything about it.
Yeah. Once you shadow counter, your inputs are frozen for a little bit as the aggressor.
Right. Okay. Okay, so that's cool, but very risky.
Yeah. I mean, but if your opponent doesn't have meter, or if he's a character that suffers getting meter, like Fulgore, hey, you're in good hands, right?
Can she? Does this work as an opener?
I'm sorry?
I was wondering if back heavy punch is an opener that you can do things off of.
It's like a normal, so like, you know that little sandwich analogy that everyone loves using? Just think about like standing normals as like an olive on top, right? It's not the actual bread, but it's something you could add on top. So you could go from a normal into an opener, and then the rest of your combo. You can also pick up your daggers by pressing all 3 punches. And, it's really fast, but like it's kind of like.
Oh, okay. Instead of rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Do the light DP, throw the dagger, and then immediately do the recapture forward heavy kick. There you go.
Ah,
And now you can continue a grounded combo. Man, I forgot something. Yeah, there you go. Hey. And one cool thing about Shadow Enders in that situation, you know how he's juggled and you didn't have any more points left to keep juggling? You could actually cash out right there by doing quarter roll back 2 kicks. Okay, yeah, so should we move on to Fulgore here?
Sure.
Nice. Okay, so Fulgore is, he's a Shoto on steroids, essentially.
Think of him as like if Jago is Ryu, Fulgore is Sagat.
Okay.
If Sagat could teleport around, I'd say more Akuma.
It's Sagat with the Terminator.
There you go. Sure. Yeah, let's do that. So instead of having a normal bar, he has a reactor meter, right? And there's a lot of little mini things over here, but you see how that reactor is slowly moving. Every single time you see that meter completely fill up, you get 1 pip a meter. You need 4 pips in order to do a shadow move. And you need 10 pips, like you have right now, to do a... what was the... I only know what Maximilian calls it, the hype beam. So that's quarter roll forward and 3 punches. That's basically if you just want to style on someone, like really bad, right there. But you can see his reactor meter went all the way to 0. So he's gonna have to rebuild that up. Now keep in mind that he's getting his meter super slow, but every single successful hit that he gets ends up making the reactor go faster, and he also has something that's unique to him called an auto triple. This auto triple, when he's in the middle of a combo, if he presses the button 1 more time in the middle of an auto double, he does an auto triple, and that speeds up the reactor. You can see it kind of speed up a little bit, so go ahead and try doing that. There we go. Okay, so if you do quarter roll back and just do auto double heavy. Why not? And then there you go. You see when he goes invisible right there? So it does a shit ton of damage, and it also does it increases your reactor speed.
It's spinning faster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if someone's locked out, you can really speed up your reactor. Now, things that slow it down is you not hitting them over a certain amount of time, and you doing energy moves like fireballs and lasers. And you can tell it slows down because you'll see that the
red
reactor
flash.
will red. Yeah, versus the yellow. Yellow good, red bad.
How many pips does it take to do a shadow move for him?
4.
4.
So
okay.
as long as all 4 green are there, you could do at least 1.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so whiffing energy moves. What else slows it down? Taking hits?
Just not hitting your opponent.
Teleport.
Not hitting. Okay.
Oh, and also, yeah, teleports to slow you down. Now, one thing is like, oh, that seems like a lot of crap. Well, one really good thing is that he can actually do really dumb things such as pip cancels in this game. So go ahead and throw a fireball and immediately do a teleport behind Maya.
Let's see.
He used 1 pip of reactor meter to do that, but that 1 pip is just going to open up, and you're probably going to be able to get that meter back if you're able to complete a combo.
So he can
do that over and over.
Can he cancel anything into anything there? Any special into special?
With the exception of fireball, you got DP.
For the cost of 1 pip.
I did.
With the cost of, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Alright, so let's say that you do DP and they blocked, right? Like, oh, damn it, I'm gonna get hit. Nah, fuck that. Do quarter roll back 2 punches.
In the air?
In the air.
Oh,
Oh, well, not that. In the air. Yeah, there you go.
Superman.
Injustice.
Yeah.
Injustice.
Vamos.
Yeah.
Gods among us.
Right.
Yeah, have fun,
Fucking,
man.
yep.
Hey,
Do it again. I see.
Overhit.
No.
yeah, she just goes the wrong direction for that one.
It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Yeah, okay.
Especially her, she's just a little bit weird about it. Go to hitboxes on.
Hey.
Oh shit, we're in the future.
Oh my god, fighting games, do this, please. Yes.
And
When
the best
did they
part,
add this? I didn't notice.
the best part about this is that you can actually do this in the middle of like online sessions and all that, or offline sessions, and you can actually see where your
Okay.
hitboxes are and why things whiff.
Yeah.
And you can blame things other from the developer, like yourself, whenever you try to anti-her and it doesn't work.
So the
crazy.
the 10 box that's appearing is the proxy block. So it's basically the range at which I'm going to automatically block by holding backwards, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That's
There
it.
you go. Exactly. So. Oh wow. Ah. You can
Oh, I'm invincible.
So maybe the invincibility. Yeah, you can see that the hitboxes disappear when you do
it
that.
disappears. It disappears, but
Yeah, it's like 1 frame though.
then
And
it
there
comes
is a
back in.
replay system where you can play frame by frame,
Frame
and
by
actually
frame.
sit there and speed. Yeah. Unfortunately,
Okay.
you can't do that in training mode.
all right. So it's there. It's not as invincible as I thought it was, but it is there. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. One additional thing about the reactor is that if you have 3 bars meter, I think your forward walk goes faster. If you have 8 bars meter, your back
Oh.
walk is fast, and then 10 bars, I think your dashes are just like super, like much
very
quicker.
long.
Actually move faster. Holy shit. Okay.
My dash is much
Yeah.
longer.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
So, I mean, holding on to your meter also means a lot, but I mean, not if you can just do a full screen mix-up whenever. So, keep that in mind too.
And I guess I'm assuming that the speed changes are at green, yellow, red.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And one additional thing that you can do as Fulgore is to get meter is if you use Instinct, it automatically makes your reactor go as fast as possible, and it won't stop until it goes down. Oh wait, hold on. No, they changed that. Excuse me. Press both heavy and heavy punch. Yeah, there you go. You get a pip meter every single time you do that.
Oh,
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm living in
Okay.
season 3 back.
So it gives you a free pip. It doesn't speed up your reactor.
Right. Yeah.
It used to.
It used to. Yeah. It used to be free. Was that season 1 or 2? Does anyone remember? And yeah, you can see he's already got the mix-ups down. He's a professional Fulgore player. Look at that. Boom. You know what? Teleport to jump over someone. Why not? And the best thing is that his fireball ender not only gives you more reactor meter, but it also allows you to, or speeds up your reactor. It also does a hard knockdown.
Oh shit! Oh yeah.
So that means that you can set things up to be like whatever you want. And also, just in case, you know, you didn't think that's enough, go ahead and press back and heavy.
Yes, overhead.
Yeah. And cancel that overhead into whatever the hell you want. And also keep in mind that, like, if he throws a fireball or you guess he's going to throw a fireball, you can do a full screen dash forward jump and go straight into like a jumping heavy, or maybe your mantis prowl thing, the down heavy thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, you got ways around it, so. So using the shadow move to get through is, you know, that's one of many ways that you can get through fireballs. And also one more thing about Fulgore, forward heavy punch is actually plus on block, but it's 2 hits. So it's kind of like that Jago double roundhouse that he did.
Right.
Yeah. So they gotta be ready for it. But also you can have set up so only the second hit will hit, so they can't shadow counter that, and you get the plus.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
What are your what are the bullet points?
I have to build my meter. If I use my specials, my reactor is slower. I can use 1 pip to cancel specials into each other.
Right.
I also have this move, which is pretty nice after DP.
What's EX teleport?
EX teleport. He teleports and he does an attack in the back.
Okay.
Like
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's also, you know, if someone throws a fireball, then they're screwed.
What are the teleport? Yeah, what are the teleport properties? Can you just like
basically when I do a teleport,
light
with light will be on the left side of the stage, medium will be in the middle, and heavy will be on the right side. So if I do it here with heavy, it's gonna stay on the right side.
So the buttons are relative
to the position on the screen.
It is not relative to me.
Exactly. Gotcha. So I do this, I'm gonna be on the left if I do the light. But if I do this and I do teleport light, I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
There you go. Keep in mind, this is a lot of information. There's so much depth to these characters, but like the number one thing, and I think it's the most important thing when you're playing KI, is to just have fun doing it. Like, care for your mental health, right? Like, there's so much to put in, and you could be overwhelmed with all this stuff. But just like work on like one thing at a time. Like today, I want to get my plus forward heavy to work, you know. And then you start doing that, and then you start putting pieces together. And then once you kind of have some sort of game plan or whatever, it all comes together, and your work is well worth it.
Yeah, I can definitely see like the biggest trouble here being like losing track of her daggers as a struggle. So like that, like there's not like even working through all of this, like until I get hands-on with like where they're gonna be after what, there's no way to really have a hard fast rule of thumb on that, you know.
More characters, or what do you want?
Fight.
Let's do it.
Yo, listen to that music though. That is made with love.
I hear this song every time I close my eyes.
I heard it for 40 hours a week for 2 years, my friend. Let me tell you, it's still not old.
I love it. I've been listening. So I've been listening to all the soundtracks since I started the project, and I'm still listening to them. That's how good the soundtracks are. And a lot of people don't talk a lot about Season 3's music, but I like a lot of Season 3 music too. I think Fulgore did a great job.
Yeah, it was a different taste as well, but I think they did a really good job of just like continuing the theme of KI. So,
Shadow
my Xbox save.
Xbox.
Watch out, you might get cut.
Oh, yeah, I dig it.
There you go.
My man drops in. Where we dropping? Tilted?
If you want me to review the different things that we went over, just to like tell the stream.
Sure.
Oh, actually, you know what? I can't even view the stream right now. It's like one pixelated mess right now. So up to y'all.
Watching in 5 frames per second, but you guys go for it.
All right, there's the mantis.
I will say this game looks really pretty when you play it, but man, just stream compression and video compression just eat it alive.
Oh yeah. Alright, now he has 4 meters, but he has to pick up his daggers.
Nope.
And Fulgore has screen locked him out of it.
Scheiße. Oh, unblockable!
Make it pay. Make it pay. Oh, they probably should have looked up their ultra command too before they started.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Oh yeah,
We didn't even touch ultras at all.
Fulgore's is DP.
Yeah.
Maya's is quarter roll forward kicks, I think? Or maybe it's quarter roll back. I don't know. Ignore me.
Ooh, inputs are strong too. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so inputs can be turned on in the middle of matches, and so can hitboxes. Not for data though, thank God. That'd be really obnoxious.
Oh my god, I didn't whiff.
Yeah. Let him know, Reggie. Just keep uppercutting on wake up. Do it.
Yo, you got the meter to make it
Almost.
kind of safe-ish. Not really.
Oh gosh.
Oh, almost good. Almost good shot.
No.
Uh-oh.
Got the corner.
Yeah, right?
Oh shit! Oh shit! He's got another one of those too.
Game, set, and
That's
match.
true. That's true. That's true.
Oh shit.
I mean, that is 10 bars a meter, but I mean, it's well worth it. Just to
It's
see
funny.
that happen.
It's funny because on the Discord call, like we hear at least for me, I hear the audio before I see it on screen. So I heard the hype beam get activated. I was like, "It's over."
Oh, that's what she does when it's
Yeah.
down. Okay, when she drops one, I see. Okay.
Both these characters actually have ultimates, and to do it, you have to do a ultra and do a quarter roll forward, both light punch and light kick, within the first few hits of it, and then you go into a special animation. But you have to have a supreme victory, which means you win on your first life bar.
Oh shit.
Yes!
The knives are gone again.
Nice.
Okay.
But you do have instinct at least.
Yes.
Also, backdashes are invulnerable in this game. Good option.
Ooh, I heard that.
Oh, there you go.
All right, Reggie, I see you. I see you, Reggie.
I'm a little lost. I'm
Playing this game!
a little lost in neutral. I'm a little lost in neutral. I don't know.
Might take a little bit time. It is a little bit tough.
Yeah, I kind of want to figure out what else is going on here.
No.
So, keep in mind, no offense to Reggie or anything, his anti-airs aren't on point right now. So you could definitely jump in a lot more, and keep in mind that that jumping heavy is a cross-up. And I wish I could help you otherwise, but I'm looking at 1 pixel right now.
Yeah, we're like our audio's behind everything. It's like really weird.
Are you and you're using
It's just a
it's a
distance
screen
thing.
share, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your stream is fine, I believe, but like us watching the call right now is a little rough.
Oh damn.
Nice backdash.
Shit.
So in neutral, it's really good to consider just like getting those pips like immediately, and then you can dash forward, pick them up automatically as they bounce off of it.
So I think some people are seeing that lockout timer, that lockout like strike look a little different. When it's an L and it's grayed out like that, that means that you were late to break.
Oh, L means light, but if you see a timer, that's the light one.
Oh.
There you go, there you go.
Come on, Woolie,
You
bring it
can
back.
bring it back here.
Come on, Woolie, bring it back.
And you got a skin unlock? Oh my god. Yo, let's go!
Woolie, I'll buy you poutine if you win this match. Come on, Woolie.
Yo, this is a better comeback than, like, Sleep versus My God right now.
I don't know about that.
Oh no!
No poutine for you, Woolie. Nothing for you. Nothing. You sit there in the corner. Nothing's on your plate. You look at us eat.
I heard
If
this
only
was a
My
good
God had
move.
the hype beam. But yeah, the most important thing with Maya is to make sure that your daggers stay on you at all times. Either that's through instinct or just your setups and stuff like that. So you have to lab the character and find out the best ways to do it. And your jumping teleports are actually really good for that sort of thing. Jumping teleports. She doesn't have a jumping teleport. Her jumping daggers.
Try to remember it a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, so like right there, when you threw your daggers away, you're actually at a super huge disadvantage. You don't want to use the heavy ones to throw either, right? You just want to throw one at a time so you can pick that up and focus on getting that one back.
because I'm chasing them
I mean,
back.
right
and
now-
I gave up the corner just now to get my dagger back, right? Like little things like that
Exactly, yeah.
are escaping me. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's little intricacies like that. They're all over the game. Good throw. And keep in mind, there's a reason why Akuma's air fireball was like OP way back in the day.
That doesn't work there.
Shit.
That's fine. This is the way.
Oh, her throw actually does a little bit less damage if the less dagger she's holding.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. Pick that shit up. That was a good crouching medium. I'm like 3 hours behind right now. I heard combo break going 3 times in a row.
Oh my god. That was not a go.
No.
No, yeah, heavy comes out a little bit later.
No punishment.
Now you
There you
can.
go. Yeah, that's the way you use your daggers for sure.
Ouch, ouch.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Good instinct.
That was sick.
Good.
Uh-oh. Here comes the robot.
Oh no.
For the P.
Oh
Oh, he got in the air.
Oh!
Every time it happens.
no! So you're using a lot of normals in neutral, which is good. You should. But you want to also make sure that you cancel your normals into like quarter roll forward, punch, or kick, or whatever continues the pressure, because you know, your hit confirms basically come off of that cancel. Yeah, just like what you did right there. That was perfect.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sorry, Reggie, but I think it's over. I think,
Oh damn.
I think Woolie's on me.
Oh.
No! Oh my god, that's not supposed to happen.
Yo, let's go.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, opener, ender. So you went from the overhead, which is the olive on top, into the opener,
Right.
into the ender. Yeah, yeah, so.
Dang.
Shit.
Remember, instinct is a good way, in case you get knocked down and you're worried about pressure. You can wake up and do it. See what your opponent's doing.
Oh, scheiße.
The shots will make me laugh every time.
Oh, no, not there yet. Too early.
I'm Mr. Level 8 Ender 2 every day. I
Ultra.
love getting 90% damage from nothing.
Chip out.
Yo, chip there! Oh, that was a chip.
Ultra, ultra, yeah!
There you go!
I love the nod. Head turn.
Yo!
Oh, the drop kick.
The box.
I didn't know when it was gonna end. I didn't know it was gonna end. Okay.
Matthew!
All right, all right. There's a drop kick at the end there. All right, that undoes all the losses, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, one and done. Hey,
still like
always
that.
want like
Yeah.
exhibition matches online, one and done them. That's it.
It's the last one that counts.
All right, interesting. All right.
One of the things I was noticing is
Yes.
don't forget about your shadow counters. Because Reggie likes to do that spin move at you, that two-hitting spin move.
I saw it every time, and my brain said, "Fuck,
Yeah.
fuck," every time. And you saw I went for like about 3, and I botched each one.
Regarding like what Woolie was saying about reaction time, just for a little bit of fighting game theory, I guess, if you want to call it. So you know, like whenever it's like, oh, that's too fast, I can't react to it right now, and all that stuff. A lot of things that you can react to, you just need repetition and seeing it over and over again. You need to like recognize the very beginning of the frame. The only way for you to do that is for you to practice. By practicing over and over again, you like kind of clear your mind.
There you go.
So like, for example, in order for you to anti-air someone, you have to do a dragon punch when you recognize someone jumps in the air.
Reggie, no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all
Too
good.
much.
But what goes on in the new player's mind is that I gotta press 4, I gotta press down 4, I gotta press a button, right? And that's 4 different steps, and you're super late. But if you start turning those steps into second nature, as soon as you see that, you automatically put in that input. You went from 4 steps to 1 step, and then you can start anti-airing really, really fast. So like, when I say like, practice makes perfect in this sort of thing, I actually do mean it in that way. Anyway, someone's getting fucked. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh my god, the dagger chase down is like abort game plan, retrieve dagger. Woof. Yeah, whiffed it. Yeah, okay. Alright.
Hey, there you go. But you can see the improvements that are being made over there. Now it's just like a matter of like practicing and being able to like, okay, I press this button, now I know that I have to go into this.
Yeah,
and
I'm still
you know,
not
a
used
lot-
to converting the damage yet. Like I land a hit, but I can't extend the string. I'm not used to it yet. I need to buy the game.
Yeah, and I guess when I see like Maya's doing their thing, like very few times do I see them like out of dagger control. You know?
Yeah.
That like because I'm like every time I whiff or like fuck it up like that's throwing me off super hard. It's a weird like adjustment for her.
Right. But one thing why you want to do the air daggers is, let's say that you whiff it, right? Or they stuff you out of the air, right? instead of your dagger being on the other side of the screen now, it's only like on the floor where you threw it at, right? So it's something to consider.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome to the world. Let's get it on now. Select the mix. First pick. Get it on now. Select the mix. 7-6. Let's get it on now. 2 pick the best one.